He's not going to come out after a game and start criticising the system. I don't think so. And we also know every team that Pep's manager, he tries to overload the midfield, he tries out numbers or whatever the system might be. But he's made the point there, I think it's a pretty honest interview, that they should have done better for the goals, as simple as that. They should have been sharper in their own play going forward. But I said it earlier, this United team, they lack that real quality. They struggle defensively, the midfield, run about United breaking the press. But when teams get United look all over the place. I think they're just, United are an average team, an average Premier League team. The stats will tell you that. And I'm going back to last season as well. So again, we're sitting here, United's record as well against any of the top 6 teams or whatever is really, really poor. They can't seem to compete. They'll have maybe a good 45 minutes or a good hour. Bruno makes the point here, they kind of done it quite well against Arsenal, but they lost the game at home to Arsenal. Ultimately, you are playing for Man United to win football matches. And when you say we're coming up against quality teams, yeah, but that's part of the challenge. When you sign that contract, you're going, yeah, it's no good just beating the teams, the lesser teams. You're playing for Man United to compete against other good teams, and United can't do that. Whether they're not good enough, there's obviously issues. Talk about the system, but the manager's come in, he's sticking to his guns, he's not budging. But the results, and we look at the points per game and the goals for, goals against.
So that's a concern.
It does concern me. It's not good reading. I came here today, and sometimes United with a bit of history, they've done it last year. But as soon as the game starts, you're looking, going, oh, you're worried. But you get that feeling against when they're playing any decent team. But even when you think, like we said, they've scored 4 goals, and we think United are a bit better going forward now. 2 of them were penalties. So they're not exactly a free scoring team and going, listen, we might score 2 or 3 and we might give up a few. It's like almost the same problems as last year. And what we were told, the new manager needs a pre-season. He needs his own players. I don't know how much you've spent. Another good few hundred million.
200 million, yeah.
200 million.
Over 200 million.
Over 200 million. So we keep making excuses, but at some stage you go, well, when are we going to see the signs? Now people say give manager time, and of course, but we saw Slot going into Liverpool last year. Liverpool might have been a kind of a better team at United at that stage, but he ends up winning the league. You look at other managers, you see Frank going into Spurs, you go, am I going to see signs of Spurs improving? And yeah. So how long do you keep waiting when this team are probably getting a point a game? That's what you'd probably...
But those managers that you talked about, and I'm interested to hear your thoughts on this as well, guys. You talked about Thomas Frank, known for being an adaptable, flexible manager. Slot sort of didn't try and change too much when he went in and almost just tried to tweak Jurgen Klopp's system. So
yeah, my worry is...
I think the problem is with the manager and the tactics he's deployed.
But my worry is with the players now, and Bruno's talking there, and is that maybe the players haven't got that much faith in it. So as much as the manager's going, this is where we're going, lads, and at the start you're probably going, yeah, new manager, new ideas, something different. But as the results don't come and you keep getting beaten or you're struggling against the better teams, if the players start doubting this system, and we saw the goals are given up today where some are going, some aren't, some are pressing, he's making loads of changes, he's chopping it back with the Maguire at the back, he's bringing Casemiro, and it's like they're going on in circles, this United group. And if the players have lost faith in what the manager's saying, because usually what you want, you're sitting in the dressing room, when the manager says something, you're like, yeah, I'm all in. But if some of the players are now starting to doubt that, I'm not saying they are, but when you see some of the goals they're giving away, you're going, are you all fully on board with this manager going, listen, yeah, whatever you say, we'll do it. We'll run through brick walls for you. I don't quite see it yet. I hope it can change, but we've given the benefit of when he first came in. He didn't want to come in. He said he wanted to come into pre-season, but obviously United said you got to come in. So results weren't great. You go, okay, listen, first pre-season, give me a pre-season, give me my players. And United are throwing money, and if these are brilliant coaches, you go, well, when are you going to coach these players to make them better? Because some of the decision making some of these players are making as well, which you've seen today, is like, it's just all wrong. And then not having the strength. But we see Shaw for the first goal now. Shaw's an international footballer. For him to get caught out like that, you're looking going, do you know, Shaw, I think Shaw's been getting away with murder for years at United. Always injured, never quite fit. We make excuses. Then he gets a few games under his belt, and he's making decisions like he doesn't even want to tackle people. Like, we looked at all the stats in the Derby match there. Not one yellow card. And we're having the big build-up. The Manchester Derby, the weather's, it's raining, it's like set up for a few tackles are flying in. You're getting beat. And Man United walk off the pitch. No, I'm sick of repeating myself. You walk up and you go, it's a Derby game. How are you physically? You're shattered. You shouldn't be able to get out of bed for a week after a tough game. And they're all walking off, and there's not one yellow card.
First time ever in a
but you've got
Manchester
to be
derby.
set up right, though. In terms of Man City's strengths, their strengths in midfield will dominate the game.
But they're good at tackling for the goals, Mike.
Yeah, of course. But what's happening is they've got 2 in midfield. against Man City's three in midfield. How are you supposed to cope with that? And we're talking about Foden, Rodri and Reinders.
Mike,
who are the best midfielders in European football.
We've all played in games where your midfielder, the system you're up against, they do have an extra midfielder, but you try and compensate with someone. But doesn't mean say you don't tackle.
But that's the problem.
You've got an extra centre-back.
You've got to, the centre-back has to jump
if
you're going to play.
Which is what Bruno was saying.
Exactly that. But what's happening is they're not jumping at the correct times.
Right, well, you get that. You sort that out with your team. That's another new buzzword. Where you jump. Try tackling.
Yeah.
Try hitting somebody. Like that. The football's a physical game. We love it.
You have to. I agree with you what you're saying, to be a bit more physical, but you have to be in the right positions. Going out there against these players who can keep the ball for fun, you can't get anywhere near it. And if you've got five at the back just holding it, and you've got two in midfield running around like headless chickens,
the reason they can't get near,
it's impossible to get.
But
near,
the reason they can't get near me is because they're not mobile enough, they're not fast enough, they're not aggressive enough. They're really good in the ball, but if you gave me time in the ball, I'd still be playing. But part of the game is people closing you down, or being aggressive, or hitting you late, make it physically demanding.
I agree, but we talk about systems all the time, but I genuinely believe Man United would be a better team if they played 4-3-3. I do. I think they've got the players for it now. I think this system is hindering them. They don't know what they're doing. When they're on the ball, they're trying to make something happen. The manager's trying to coach them, but it's not working. They're not.
That makes sense.
The only validation they're getting in this system, in the 3-4-3, is when they switch the play, it looks good.
Correct.
But there's nothing else.
Or a counter
There's
attack.
Or a fast break. A fast break buzzword. It's how they are effective. It's how they're effective. They either attack really quickly or they switch the play with the two. You spoke about the two midfielders, right, in front of the back three. They're so stiff and rigid, and there's no kind of offset shape to them. So, like for the first goal, if Ugarte doesn't jump out level with Bruno Fernandes and he offsets, I don't think that goal happens.
What was at fault today? Was it the system or the way it was deployed? Are Manchester United good enough to play in this way, or should they be just throwing it out? Nice easy one for you to start with.
He's not going to. I mean, when Ruben Amorim first came, I was quite heartened by the fact that he was going to play three at the back, because I felt that they didn't have two centre-backs that were good enough to play in a four. But every single time I watch Manchester United, he changes the back three every single game, which tells you he's not sure about which back three he should play. And he doesn't just change the back three, he changes the back five. So you either have different wing backs or you have different centre backs. I mean, the amount of times you see Dillick go over to the right hand side, Maguire coming on, every single match. So look, system, no system, there are a lot of individual errors out there today as well. Luke Shaw had one of his worst games that I've seen him have. He's had a pretty decent start to the season, but all three goals he could have done better. You've just shown the one there where he was square. On the second goal, he was, he got obviously done by Haaland, and then on the third goal he leaves it short for Maguire, who then obviously doesn't help himself either by the pass. So yeah, they just had a really bad day at the back, but it was a bit of a nothing from United. I mean, they had little moments, 15 minutes in the first half at the start, and they had 5 minutes in the second half before City scored. But look, they're 14th in the league, it's only 4 games in, and we all said at the end of last season we can't be getting into October where Manchester United are 14th, 15th in the league, or else the manager will be in trouble. Now there's a few games to go before that, but they have to start winning quickly.